Well, if you're waiting and thinking about the thing that's going to go wrong, you're going to bring that into your life. Unfortunately, that is how it's going to work. So I want you to think about this. What we think about, we bring about. So what are you thinking about most often during the day? Hey everybody, welcome back to today's Cabral concept. This is a Mindset and Motivation Monday. Looking forward to teaching a concept by Neville Goddard, one of the foremost mindset and performance-based, I would say, psychologists back in his day, really talking about how to be able to train your brain to be able to get out of life everything that you're looking for. So if you've been struggling with achieving goals, whether it be wellness-based, health-based, body transformation, relationships, finances, career, spirituality, this topic is going to be able to help with that today. And it comes back to a very specific phrase that Neville Goddard used to say over and over, and that was, what we think about, we bring about. So what we think about, we bring about. What does that mean? Well, it means this. Whatever you are thinking about, whatever you're most focused on in life, is what you continue to put out into the world, into the universe. There's something in our brain called a reticular activating system, and you can actually look it up. And what it does is it locks onto a specific idea or concept that you're looking to achieve, but it doesn't differentiate from the subconscious. So if you're always focused on the negative, well, it will bring about finding situations that are also negative, that also have that same frequency or vibration. And again, when we look into quantum mechanics and quantum physics, we no longer say that this is metaphysical, that this is woo-woo, that this is not science-based. It actually is. Because when we look at it, we are giving off a specific frequency. The Heart Math Institute studies this as well. So that my mentor taught me about many years ago, about 15 years ago. And so what we do is we are literally beacons for what we don't want, which is technically what we want because it's what we're focused on. And I know that seems really strange, but if you are always thinking about a thing that you don't want to happen or the negative things that are currently happening in your life, you probably won't be surprised, but you may, when you don't know about this, so surprised that you keep getting more of that in your life. Now, it's not always if you're in poor health, then you always keep getting more poor health. You very well may get that and most likely will if that's what you're focused on, which is the poor health. But also other things will start to go wrong in your life. You know, a lot of people say, hey, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have none. And the reason they say that is because they're always focused on their bad luck and everything bad is happening. Bad things happen in relationships. So they'll often say like, oh, things are going so well in my relationship right now, I'm just waiting for something to go wrong, right? How often do you hear that? Or things are going so well in my career, I'm just waiting for something to go wrong. Well, if you're waiting and thinking about the thing that's going to go wrong, you're going to bring that into your life. Unfortunately, that is how it's going to work. So I want you to think about this. What we think about, we bring about. So what are you thinking about most often during the day? Are they mainly negative thoughts? And it doesn't, again, I always go to health and body, and it is relationships and it's spirituality and it's finances or career, however you want to look at that. And those are the areas that people have the most stress around. I didn't make them up as like they just came out of nowhere. I've been working with clients now for 25 years, and my team and I have helped hundreds of thousands of people. But we say like, well, what are they most stressed about? Well, they're most stressed about their health. They're most stressed about gaining weight or losing weight or trying to keep their body in shape, right, and healthy. And then they're obviously interested in their relationships and stress that they may cause. Finances are a big stress on many people. And spirituality. In spirituality, they might just not say like, oh, you know, I don't feel as connected to God, but they might say like, I don't feel I have a purpose. I don't feel I know why I'm here, right? And that's a source of stress. So when I look at those, I say, okay, I agree with you, and we all have some of those to varying degrees. But what I ask you is what are you thinking about most of the day? Are you thinking about what is going wrong, right? What could go wrong and what went wrong in the past? Are the majority of your thoughts, especially the ones with the most feeling, and if you've been tuning into my Mindset and Motivation Mondays, you know that, that feeling is the secret. So what are the things that you're thinking about throughout the day, and which ones have the most intensity, the most, vivid color, the things that have the most emotion and worry, or in a positive way behind, right? So what are the things that you're thinking about? And are they the majority of your thoughts during the day, are they more negative? Are they more negative self-talk? Or are they more positive, such as what is going right, what has gone right, and what will go right in the future, right? Are those the majority of your thoughts? And unfortunately, that's not how most people think. And the reason is, well, we were given this limbic part of the brain and deeper part of the brain, which always tells us to be on the lookout. It always tells us to be worried. And it's doing that for our protection. And it's because whenever there was a cataclysmic event or anything negative that could threaten your survival, right, hundreds to thousands of years ago, you would need to be wary of that. You would need to be remembering that. So it's always there, right? But we don't typically live in that same world nowadays. Not most of us, not people listening to this podcast. You probably have a home, right? You probably have a roof over your head. So you know that those specific things aren't as important as they could be. So then what we have to deal with are the everyday life stresses, like, okay, you know, the finances, the relationships, etc. So what I'm asking you, how many of those are positive? Or are they all negative? Or are they a mix? And I think most people, it is a mix. But what I don't believe, because I haven't seen it as much in my practice, is that until you work on it, the majority of the thoughts with the emotion behind them are negatively charged. They're worrisome thoughts. It's the irritability, the overwhelm, and the anxiousness about what's going wrong, or more specifically, what could go wrong in the future based on the past events. But remember, the past has already been done. We can't control that. The future, we have a big chance and a big part in bringing about that. But the present is the only thing that we can work on. So if we have anxiety, which is living in the future, and we have depression, which is living in the past, we bring those into our present, which makes us presently unhappy. But if we can leave the worries of the future to the future, which by the way never comes because today is the perpetual now, and we can let the past say, hey, it happened. I'm going to learn from it and then live here in the present moment. Now we can actively create our future. Can't necessarily change the past, although we can in terms of reframing how we look at it, but we absolutely can change the future. And if we change the future by changing our present day actions, then we get to manipulate literally our life in the best way possible. Unfortunately, though, it can be done negatively. And by focusing on everything that we don't want, we have a tendency to then bring about exactly what we think about. And in this case, it's the negative. So I invite you, no matter what your goal is, to start to think about it in a more future positive tense, and then bring that to the present day moment. So let's say it's health, which is my field. And you're someone that's maybe dealing with low thyroid. So you're dealing with the poor circulation, the thinning here, the cold hands and feet, the lowered metabolic rate, the brain fog, the weight gain, puffiness, inflammation, any of those things, okay? So the low thyroid-based symptoms. Now, you're suffering from that now. So of course, you're probably having negative thoughts like, I have brain fog today, I'm tired, my hands are cold, feet are cold, all the poor sleep, all of these different things. I get it, I understand. But the problem is we need to make the shift. So the first thing and the biggest change is always with gratitude. So the first way that you're going to change is just say, I'm thankful that I finally found there is an answer for my low thyroid. It doesn't say that you figured it out quite yet, because your brain will talk you out of it. But you do know that there's an answer, literally. Like I have 50 plus podcasts just on fixing your thyroid. I have a whole course on just fixing your thyroid. You can run a stress, mood, and metabolism test on how to fix your thyroid. What are the underlying root causes? So there's an answer. So all you have to do is first give gratitude. I'm thankful that there's actually an answer for people like me to fix their thyroid. I'm grateful for that. I'm going to take the next step. And you're taking the next step. It might just be listening to free podcasts, or it might be to taking a course, it might be reading a book, whatever it is. And now you're actively doing what? You're actively changing your future, which is low thyroid currently, by doing what? Taking action in the present. So by taking action in the present, you're also then rewiring the mind. It's a beautiful thing because your mind, your body are now interconnected. It sees you. Your body's touching the book or listening to the podcast, right? From an audio perspective, and you're getting new knowledge in your brain. As you learn more, you're going to become more optimistic because you're going to say, wow, I had no idea that selenium was actually used to convert T4, TSH to T4 to usable T3 thyroid. I had no idea. Oh, and I also didn't know that there were other vitamins and minerals involved as well. And I didn't know that fluoride and chlorine block iodine from creating the thyroid hormone. I had no idea. And so it starts to get you excited. Now, the excitement is what? That's a positive thought. That is now going to do what? Attract more positive things into your life. It'll be that next step. It'll be the step to take. And you'll be challenged along the way. There'll be obstacles. There's no straight line right to the finish line. It'd be amazing if there was, but it's like the Boston Marathon. Right when you're getting to the end, you hit Heartbreak Hill, right? And the course tests you to see if you are worthy of completing that Boston Marathon. So don't get me wrong. There will be obstacles. There will be challenges along the way. That's just to see if you're worthy. But keep your mind in more of that positive state. We can't be positive all the time. I get it. I'm not either. But what you have to do is shift from a state of negativity and emotions stuck on that negativity to one of possibility and to one of gratitude. And once you do that, you'll understand that what we think about is truly what we bring about, and in this case, much more positivity and happiness to come in the future. Hopefully today's show was helpful. I appreciate all of you for tuning into the Cabral Concept. I thank you. Of course, share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.